So, tell me something terrible.
Can I have a seat now that the cat gave you your chair back?
It's warm already. I don't like his big ass warming up my seat.
Yep.
Gross.
Hey, at least you didn't get anal seepage in your face like you did me.
Hey, you squeeze cats' bottoms. That's what you get.
I did. I squeezed his chunky tie-ties and he had an immediate defense response.
Right?
Right
Skapoof.
in my eyeballs. Don't get cats, guys. They're awful.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, are we recording?
Yep. Are we?
I mean, we are.
Yep.
But I didn't know if we were... Okay, we're starting here?
Yep. We can start here.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Are you ready?
Yep.
You got it pulled up?
I do.
You're good to go?
Yep.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Tiffany.
Hi, I'm Scott.
And you're telling me something terrible.
What?
Just kidding. And you're listening to tell me something terrible.
This is going to go swimmingly.
Isn't it?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. Are we done joking around? Are you ready to listen?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm good. I just... We stumbled into this a little more than usual.
Yeah, we did.
All right, we're here.
Okay. Yep. This one's going to be lighthearted.
Okay, well...
Ish. No, it's like 99% silly and ridiculous.
Okay.
Yep.
Is it based upon a movie from 2000?
No.
Okay. I didn't know if that was your, like, trend for May.
No. I was going, since we were busy this week.
No boy band murders?
No. Ooh.
I was just, it's going to be May thing.
That would have been great. Clever.
See?
I mean, I could really destroy the poor Backstreet Boys and NSYNCs and, like, their manager and how awful he was, but you can go listen to a Behind the Bastards episode on that and find out just how awful he is.
Yeah, but you can go listen to another podcast do every topic every other podcast has ever covered.
You're right, but you're here for the jokes, folks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Anyway. So what's the topic besides...
We're taking it back to some beaver information.
What?
Yeah, because I'm really hung up on
you
beaver.
haven't beat that dead beaver to death yet?
No, not yet.
The smell of vanilla wafting through the air?
No, since we went on a little like mini 2-day birthday vacation thing, I was like, oh, what's a topic I've already did like some research in, so I don't have to spend as much time dedicated this week since we were busy.
So the options were no episode this week or this episode this week, essentially?
I mean, I had a couple of other ones, but yeah, this one seemed much more lighthearted. I didn't think we wanted to do another animal attack that resulted in multiple people's deaths.
Yeah, you go down
give
like
a little bit of a break.
Yeah, you're the dark side of Nat Geo.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. So, Nat Geo is one of my sources.
Is it?
Yes.
Terrific.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So, in the 1600s, Europeans arrived in the New World en masse. Like, when it was discovered in 1492 or whatever.
Yeah.
This is when we really started ramping up. I think so. Ocean Blue, 92. Mm-hmm. All a lie. It was discovered long before that. Let's be honest. There
needs to be a better
here.
parody about that song. Like a corrective, like a remix.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone who has like a good singing voice and is much more creative.
Understands how to TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get on that. So I'm sure we could probably find one. So anyway, Europeans arrived in the New World en masse, and along with discovering all this land, they noticed these little sweet-smelling critters with webbed feet and paddled tail and huge orange teeth. Yes, the platypus.
What are you?
The beaver. So they made note of their thick, waterproof fur and decided that they needed that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And murder happened.
So,
en masse.
Yes. So over the following centuries, the beaver population fell from an estimated 100 to 200 million, spanning across, like, from Alaska all the way down to the, like, in the Canadian tundra, to the northern deserts of Mexico.
Okay.
So they were literally
Everywhere.
And they were found completely from east coast to west coast.
All
everywhere.
of North America.
Yep.
Okay.
I think there was 200 million of them back then.
Okay.
So we wound up driving them to near extirpation, which is a nice $10 word for you. It means local extinction because beavers were found other places around the world, but they would have been driven to extinction on this continent.
Okay.
So now you know.
That is I don't remember it because you kind of hacked it up too.
Extirpation.
Extirpation.
EXTIRPATION for those who care.
I was going to say, I'm such a visual person. You can spell words at me all day. I need to see it. But
Some people, hey, look, I'm assuming people that listen to audio, like podcasts, are audio learners.
Probably.
So they were led to extirpation by the 1830s. So extensive trapping began in the 17th century with approximately 10,000 beavers being hunted per year from 1620 to 1630.
Okay.
And it was increasing to 80,000 per year between 1630 and 1640.
Really ramping up beaver.
Yeah. They were like, fuck these beavers
You
and
trap
their
'em, right?
babies. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And then they kill them for their fur and their butt juices.
Naturally.
Yep. It's really every reason that someone should murder people.
Yeah.
You know, they want their fur and their butt juices.
Yes.
So, and this also was only from the Hudson Bay area. So this is not including the rest of the country. This is just the Hudson Bay, like New York area. And then they ran out of beavers and started sweeping across the nation. There's
Yeah.
a beaver sensation sweeping the nation.
No. No.
No, instead of the Beatles mania,
Yeah.
it's beaver mania.
It's beaver fever.
Oh,
Come on.
how did I miss that?
I don't know. You're not a beaver believer? It was a beaver anyway.
There's tons of jokes to be had.
Believer?
A
believer? Anyway.
Sure.
My
we didn't
brain,
jump on
it's
the
easy.
beaver.
My brain, it's hard. It just, I
Right,
can't
you're
make the
seeing
words
it in your brain,
Yeah.
and then there's like this disconnect.
Beaver, believer. There, but
No,
it's
because
like
then it goes back to believer. Like, there's no way to make it work because in order to incorporate the beaver into it,
I kept tripping up over the
let's
real
keep
word.
talking about this. It's going to
Okay.
make it funnier.
Yes.
Okay.
Minute 47. I swear it's believer.
But it's spelled different than
Yeah.
believer.
Yeah, it's a 1-for-1 swap. What am I missing?
The vowels. You need that
Stop.
visualization.
Just move on.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
You're like, let's keep beating this. Anyway.
I keep beating this dead beaver.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. After realizing just how important beavers are to the health of streams and other waterways, like managing silt, their wash away, and then creating like a healthy, thriving well water supply to like areas that would also increase wildlife, they were like, oh shit, we're kind of destroying.
But check out my
this whole
sweet
country.
jacket.
Yeah. So eventually wildlife protections were put in place for the beaver in the late 19th century, early 20th century. So it then took them like
like
another
centuries,
100 years. Yeah, before they were like, oops. So this saw the beaver population rebound from nearly extinct to 10 to 15 million. So some cases of conservation efforts required some creativity, like the Great Beaver Drop of 1948.
Beaver drop?
Have you heard of this?
No, but I feel like they're going to have like a helicopter full of beavers and they like fly over like they're crop dusting and just drop beavers out of a plane.
No, it's much more humane than that.
Okay, good.
They actually don't need to yeet them from airplanes anymore because they have helicopters. They can just land and take off. But airplanes,
true.
it was much more difficult.
But they could
so
put little
just-
tiny parachutes on them and then like drop them out of the plane. Anyway,
Yeah, they can.
do they?
Yes.
Terrific.
So over the years, the traditional method of moving beavers included a combination of trucks and mules or horses, a convoy, if you will. But because beavers are aquatic, there were a lot of casualties when humans attempted to transplant beavers to too far away with this method. So the beavers had to be kept wet to keep them from dying because they were aquatic. It also stressed beavers out. And they would...
Stress beaver just doesn't, it's not like a normal beaver.
No, they don't eat when they're stressed out.
Aw.
Yeah, so they would starve.
Hungry beavers.
Yep. So according to our hero of the story, quote, older individuals often become dangerously belligerent during transport.
But, okay. Angry beavers.
Yes.
Isn't that a show?
It is.
Okay.
It's my dad's favorite show.
I have a real quick question.
What's that?
Can you hand me my drink? Thanks. That's all.
This energy drink at 10 o'clock at night?
Shh. It's a judgment-free zone.
Is it?
It's a safe space.
It is.
Not, safe from ridicule, but yes.
And apparently these odorous smells...
I've never seen an episode of Angry Beavers.
Are you serious?
I didn't have cable.
Oh, sorry. It just continues to surprise me.
What was it that... Beth tweeted us that she's never seen The Matrix.
What?
I know. Anyway.
Oh my God, that's appalling.
Right? It's okay. I work with 20-year-olds that have never seen Jurassic Park, which is more appalling.
Oh God, yeah, but Beth's our age. There's no
Right?
excuse. All right, now I know what we're doing when we go down there. We're
Good
bringing
watching The
all the Matrix, all 4 of them. It's gonna be a blast.
Nah. Just the first one's the only one that you'd have to watch.
Okay, so also apparently the odorous smell of beaver accosted the senses of the donkeys and mules and horses. So they would get upset.
Vanilla snobs?
Yeah, they were. Yes, they're like,
Oh my God.
this I can tell it's artificial.
What are we, dragging a Bath and Body Works behind us?
They would get pissed and they wouldn't move. They hated it. So,
Okay.
so moving the beavers to a very isolated area with the traditional methods was out of the question because of the long trip and the high death rates and pissed off horses.
And angry beavers.
Yep. So cue our hero, Elmer. Sorry, not Elmer. Elmo Heater.
Elmo Heater?
Elmo Heater.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, all right.
Okay. He's our hero.
Tickle me pink. Let's go.
Yep. So in Idaho in 1948, the wildlife, fish, and game, along with the local farmers and new homesteaders that were taking over like this lesser inhabited area, they had had enough with the beaver v. human centuries-long fight.
Yeah.
So the beavers were constantly damming up waterways that flooded farmers' fields. They would eat through fence posts, destroy the sprinkler systems of new homes that were being built in the
Beavers
regions.
would eat through fence posts?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Like farmers' fence
Yeah.
posts. They would eat their orchids. Jeez.
They just love flowers.
Deja vu. I'm pretty sure you made fun of me about orchid and orchards already.
Yeah.
It's a word. I have a problem with it.
Or chard.
Orchards. They would eat their
Not their orchids.
orchards.
Yes.
Yeah. And because they were fruit trees, so they were delicious. And so they would kill crops. They would ruin culverts. They were flooding yards with their dams. So a plan was enacted to move the beavers from this new human populated area to a scarcely
I'm going to stop making funny for words. It's getting a little repetitive.
I'm not even doing it on purpose. That's
I know.
the worst part.
Whatever.
It's not a bad joke. I just can't speak.
Scarcely we make mistakes
Yeah.
in this podcast.
So there was an area, a basin that needed more like water, and its
Desperately.
ecosystem was out of balance.
It needed the beef.
Yes.
We've
so-
all been there.
Yep. They decided to give it the beef.
Yep.
It was called the Chamberlain Basin.
Okay.
So then the beavers, won't destroy homes anymore. People will be happy. Beavers will be happy.
Yeah. It's a win-win.
So the problem was that the basin was far enough into BFE that we had the issues with not being able to transport them via truck and mule.
Yeah. You just have a bunch of pissed off. Yeah.
Yeah, because there were no roads to this area. So Elmo,
Yes.
an employee of the Fish and Game Department, noticed that there was an excessive amount of leftover parachutes from WWII.
Okay.
And since flying was much quicker than driving or a pack mule, he decided that that was how they were going to get the beavers to the Chamberlain Basin.
I'm guessing it's going to be like a crate attached to it.
Yes.
It's
Don't
not
worry.
like
They don't
one,
just yeet them out.
No. I wanted every beaver to have its own little pair of aviator glasses, like goggles, and the little helmet, little leather helmet, and then just like a vest.
Yes.
And just like a little tiny parachute to throw it out the plane.
Beavers weigh like average like 30-ish pounds. Big ones will weigh 50 to 60.
Really?
Yeah. They're fucking huge.
Holy shit. I thought it was like I thought it was the size of our cat, which
No,
is like
they're
20
twice
pounds.
the size of our cat.
Jeepers. Okay.
Yeah. Beavers are huge.
Yeah.
So the plan was to construct some sort of holding apparatus for the beavers, attach it to a parachute, not themselves, and then yeet them out of a small plane and into the basin.
Yep.
So the initial prototype included a wicker box, and the thought process was that the beavers would safely land and be able to chew their way out of the wicker and then onto freedom.
It's easier than that.
No, it absolutely is not.
No, if you just put things on the box, like on the bottom, that, like, say you have a box with a flat bottom, have things stick out the bottom of said box, so when it touches down on the ground, it pushes up and opens the doors, and then the beaver escapes.
We're gonna get to it.
I'm just saying.
That's what he does.
I'm just saying, if you have, that's like the easiest problem in this whole thing. The parachute thing is not the easiest solution, but I could come up with a super easy solution for the box that won't open.
It was a very elaborate box.
Okay.
It's not the wicker box. We'll get to it.
I'm just telling you now, I could have came up with a very...
He comes up with it. That's why he's our hero.
Okay, sorry. I'm you know me, I'm a problem solver.
Oh, of course you are.
I love
You're like,
puzzles.
ooh, yes.
You're like, psh, these people with no technology.
In the 40s.
I can solve your issues.
So, the problem with the wicker, though, was that it was quickly concluded that it was not going to work, that beavers chewed through the baskets too quickly, so there was a fear that they would either chew themselves out mid-aerial descent, or they would do it even quicker while they were in the plane. Yes, putting the pilot in a little bit of a predicament.
And then beavers on a plane.
I'm sick of these fucking beavers on these fucking planes. Doesn't sound quite the same.
I've never seen snakes on a plane.
Me neither.
Okay.
Everybody just knows that quote.
Either way.
Yeah.
It's just... more
Oh,
funny.
it's these motherfucking beavers
It's
on
just
these
funnier.
motherfucking planes.
If you just imagine beavers running wild on a plane.
Oh, yeah. And knowing that they're 60 pounds as well, which is like the size of a small child.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a big child.
Yes.
It's a small adult.
Yes. So, it's
Very
probably
small.
a starving adult. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they needed a more sturdy design than the wicker. Mm-hmm. So Elmo came up with the box that pops open.
Thank you.
Yes.
Attaboy, Elmo.
So he also had to come up with a box made out of wood that the beavers also wouldn't be able to chew through.
Yeah.
Because wicker was obviously
He's
to
not
make
using
faster
balsa
work.
wood?
No. He used number 4-quarter surface lumber,
Okay.
which is super common and cheap and
Terrific.
yeah.
Like, it's just like a...
I think way back
he went to
then-
Menards and bought a 2x4.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yes.
The
Back when
equivalent.
wood was cheaper, because I think they literally only used like $2 worth of material.
Well, and they milled it themselves, probably.
Most likely. In that they took it from that basin that they're going to drop the beavers in.
Yeah, probably. They just went outside and cut it down because there were still trees to do that with. Yeah.
Full circle. So his plan was to make a box that popped open once it made contact with the ground.
It's a great idea, Elmo.
You had suggested so kindly.
Great idea, Elmo.
So Elmo came up with a box that the beavers could not chew through, and out of that 4-quarter surface lumber. So it was 2 lidless boxes that he put together, and then he made a contraption with like rope that put tension on the box, so that when tension was released from the box, when it landed and the parachute had less tension on it, then it would pop open. And these boxes each had ventilation air holes in them. They were like an inch big, so they could live and breathe, and then they actually put 2 beavers inside of each box so that they had a landing buddy when they touched down out of
It's
the
like
sky.
arranged marriages.
Yeah. No, it's not it's an arranged more than a thruple. Our beavers, they like having multiple mates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you gotta put down a whole commune of beavers.
Yeah, they found that the most ideal, because they did a lot of research into this. There's so much information. Like, just
Can you imagine being the people that like just observe beavers and like have to?
literally that was this man's job.
He would
Elmo's job was literally
just sat there with a
he was in
notebook.
charge of the beaver department.
Dolores is fucking Max over there again. God damn it.
And then Max has moved on to Jennifer.
It's hard to come up with names just like that.
Yeah. Anyway, I already explained all of that. They cinched at the top, landed,
Yep.
tension removed, box pops open,
Twofer.
beaver.
Yep.
The twofer, the 2 beavers go along their merry way onto freedom.
2 beavers, 1 box. Sorry. That's the name
Wouldn't
of
that
this
just
episode.
be wouldn't that just be 3 beavers?
No. The name of this one's 2 beavers, 1 box. Anyway, you guys already know that. You've been listening till now.
Oh, that is true. So there is a lot more details in the workings, and you can find a PDF of his 6-page report titled "Transplanting Beaver by Airplane and Parachute." And he wrote that for the Journal of Wildlife Management if you really wanted to have a good read before you fell asleep.
I mean, people are passionate. Gotta give them
You
credit.
would probably love to read it. There was diagrams
Of his box?
and like how he threaded it through certain holes, and you were all like, well, he needs to construct this thing that opens when it lands. It'd be like, you can look it up. It has a very detailed report.
I actually like
diagrams
his design.
and everything.
His design equates for everything unless it lands in a tree. And mine would have the same issue. Like if it got caught up in branches, tension would never be released.
There's also one more thing that I didn't take into consideration, so we'll get to that.
Beaver mutilation.
No,
one
it's
beaver
not
eating
that
another
bad.
beaver.
It's not that bad.
Okay. I just hope it's not a fire.
No. So he practiced.
I was sitting on a St. Elmo's fire joke, just hoping you would bring up fire.
No,
but anyway.
No. Just a beaver suicide.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Kamikaze beaver.
So Elmo began testing his rig with dummy weights first, and next Elmo acquired a male beaver that
Next, Elmo got in the box himself to test it.
He's not that small of a human. Oh, I guess the puppet really is.
What?
Elmo the puppet?
Oh. I was like, I guess he is. I was
Sesame Street was definitely not on cable.
like, no, I'm aware of who Elmo is.
All right, I was making sure because apparently a lot of stuff from our childhood is just you miss out on.
No. I'm down with the Sesame Street.
Okay.
We're good.
So he acquired a male beaver that was aptly named Geronimo.
Is that the one you want diving down to earth? That's like the cannonball sound.
It is the bomb sound.
Yeah.
Just after World War II. That's a little too soon.
If we ever have a dog that you want to give a human name, we can call it Jerry, as long as it's short for Geronimo.
Perfect.
Okay,
I think that is a fair compromise.
All right. Yep. Just because I want to see you go to the pet groomers and be like, I'm here with Geronimo, and just try to say it with a straight face.
Okay, as long as we can get those Saint Bernards and rename them Geronimo and Dwala.
Yep. We can't explain the Dwala thing here. No. It's too long of a story. Anyway, proceed.
So, Geronimo was dropped over and over again at different he was dropped at different altitudes.
Then Geronimo became a serial killer. started wetting the box. Sorry.
That's where the fire comes in next. He actually catches it on fire. So he was dropped from different altitudes from the airplane to ensure that the box would open, which they found the best altitude was between 500 and 800 feet, in case you cared. I know you like the deets.
Yep.
And then Geronimo was rewarded with a treat. So he fought.
What is a treat to a beaver?
I have no idea.
Okay.
He fought being stuffed in the box like repeatedly at first, but eventually he would just turn around and like head back to the box so he could be like, yeah, food again.
Treat, yeah.
So he's a little food motivated.
I hope they like paydays or something like very, like I can see an animal liking it. It's got peanuts.
Anyway. Little nougat, just sweet enough. I bet you our birds would love it.
Like peanuts, I feel like are like it's like wood-ish. Like what do you give them? Like cinnamon? I don't know. Anyway,
that'd really spice up their anal seepage with some
a little
cinnamon.
Vanilla, a little chai.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going.
So once Elmo was satisfied with the beaver,
did he giggle every time? I was hoping I can't do the voice. It's in an octave I physically can't reach. Shocking.
You squeezed you hard enough.
Right? Yeah. No.
Just involuntarily come out.
Yeah.
So once Elmo was satisfied with the beaver launching technique, they loaded up their first set of 4 beavers, so Geronimo included. His reward that he was going to be the first male beaver dropped into the basin with his new female beaver companions.
Geronimo Armstrong. That's his full name. One small step for beavers, one giant leap for
beaver kind.
Yeah.
and he went with a little group, a little posse, his 3 brides, because they got sent in with 3 females.
Oh man, it's like what Valhalla.
Yeah, it is.
He got sent to paradise with his box full of brides.
So on August 14th...
What do you call a group of beavers?
I don't know. I haven't...
I feel like it's going to be like a pod or something. I feel like we've already looked this up.
We discussed we just looked up what you call vultures, and they have 3 different names depending on what state of...
A colony. That's lame.
Oh, well.
Anyway.
All right, we need to come up with another name for beavers.
Yeah, that's kind of lame.
Yeah, it's not as good as like crows or a murder. And then we found out if vultures are feeding on something, then it's called a wake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're at a
Actively
live
eating,
murder,
yeah.
yes, it's called a wake.
So on August 14th, 1948, because of the late summer seems to be the best time to move beavers. In the spring, they just...
like they're a tulip. Mm-hmm. Oh, the best time to relocate them.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, because literally if you did it too early, they would just spend the time migrating back to where you moved them from. And then if you did it too late, they didn't have enough time to establish any type of like...
house?
Yes. And so they would die.
Yeah.
So...
Luckily, Elmo...
late spring.
He knows beavers inside and out.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He has spent a long time studying all the beavers.
Yeah. He is. Yeah. Anyway, we can just keep going down.
Like, let's cut this off.
Let's make as many beeve metaphors as we can.
Oh yeah, I'll take a beeve
Stop.
metaphor.
See? No, I just said let's put an end to it.
So he transported them in August, and along with. On the plane, there was a conservationist along with 8 crates of beavers that were loaded into a small...
8 crates of beavers.
Instead of 8 crazy nights. So these beavers were loaded onto a small twin-engine Beechcraft Travel Air. I had to beef up my notes.
There you go.
Yep, and they were flown to the Chamberlain Basin, where they were yeeted from the plane. So over the course of the next few days, a total of 76 beavers were parachuted from the plane.
Safely?
There was 1 casualty.
Oh, my God.
Yes. So during
Sorry.
You just hung your head so emphatically too, like, oh God, this poor
I forgot. Yeah, you're like you're foreshadowing earlier.
So during one of the first drops, one of the ropes used to secure a box broke, and the beaver managed to work his tiny little head through a small opening that it had created, and then the rest of his body. So he stood on top of the wooden carrier, and he either fell or jumped when he was only 75 feet away from the ground.
Did he live?
He did not.
He
didn't make it.
They're pretty durable. I thought he had a chance. That's like that's 7 stories up. Yeah, that's jumping. You can chuck a beaver off the top of like.
Even if he lived, he was probably in so much pain that he just died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just sorry, this isn't funny, but like if he lands, just a little poof of vanilla comes up, like the air
right out his butt.
It's like those timed air fresheners in bathrooms. Yes. Yeah, where everyone's it's like.
As his body deflates as he's dying, it's just this big long stream of vanilla. Mm-hmm. Oh, that would be really sad. Love the way your brain works. If you want, you can actually find footage of the beavers being dropped on YouTube. You're going to say
like a grave site for.
Someone came in.
You can visit the spot where the suicidal beaver.
Like how where Dobby died in the movies for Harry Potter. If you go there's all these stones and little headstones and stuff, and like left for Dobby. Mm-hmm. They've just done that with this one beaver.
I noticed he didn't have a name.
No, just the first one.
Oh.
So we can find this footage thanks to a woman named Sharon Clark. She was a more recent employee of the Idaho Fish and Game. She was chatting with a former fur trapper that worked back in the 1950s. And he asked if she'd ever heard of the parachuting beavers.
And she's like, nobody has.
No, but it became her life's mission to find the missing film.
It's because they were jealous of the flying squirrels.
Yeah.
So like we can one up you.
Yeah, you can.
We're going to become,
and be even more of a nuisance because they just destroy houses, whole houses.
Oh, squirrels?
No, beavers.
Oh, beavers.
Yeah, beavers will just fuck with like your insulation. A beaver is going to be like, oh yeah, fuck your wall.
Right, yeah. You like your fence? I'm going to eat the whole goddamn thing.
So she managed to find the film in 2000.
I'm a 60-pound termite.
So Sharon managed to find the film in 2015 from 1948.
Nice.
Yep. So she was going through archives. She worked there for 33 years, and she spent the entire time trying to find this goddamn film.
They're like, you should be answering phones. No, I'm looking for this beaver footage until I die.
Yeah, it is important.
Yeah.
So she managed to find it. It was mislabeled.
Oh, okay.
So
naturally.
So now we get to watch beavers being thrown from a plane for the down to their own safety.
Nice.
Yeah. So PETA senior director Stephanie Bell.
Is it a YouTube video? Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, you can find it on YouTube.
Oh, okay, cool.
So Stephanie Bell
we'll link
from
it
PETA.
We'll link it on our Patreon. See? We got to sprinkle in that. Like, you can Google it yourself.
No, but we'd really prefer that you spend $1 so that you can find the link.
Yeah. We're doing the legwork for you.
Because it's so hard to type in Great Beaver Drop of 1948.
Well, and I try to get that like more than one post a month, not just the bonus episode.
Oh, look at you go.
Thank you.
So
baby steps.
PETA director Stephanie Bell called the parachute drop cruel, and it, quote, likely compromised the welfare of the beavers.
Ask Geronimo. He was loving life.
Yeah, he was. So honestly, it's bullshit. Beavers thrived in the basin. I think their goal was to get up to like in the state of Idaho, get up to like 200,000 beavers, and they've met that, and they're like, what the fuck ever.
Yeah. For the greater good.
And they know that Geronimo's and the other beavers, future generations, they continue to thrive there. Mm-hmm. So I think, dropping them to safety from like an airplane is better than having them like run amok in human habitats where we would inevitably
or be murdered.
Yeah, we would inevitably like poison
trapped,
them.
Yes.
Yeah, trapped. There'd be farmers shooting them. So I think they'll be okay. I think they're all right.
I mean, we could have put them in a truck or had them dragged across by mule and had them freak out every time one of them.
Yep, just a trail of vanilla and blood into the woods.
Yep.
I mean, the worst but most delicious smelling crime scene. And that's the story of the Great
Beaver Drop.
Yep, Great Beaver Drop of 1948
in Idaho. You said, right?
In Idaho.
Crazy.
Yep. There was a ton of different states that were doing different sorts of things.
This feels like bonus episode material because I'm always like,
because it's lighthearted.
I'm going to tell you something interesting.
We just told you a really sad story about a beaver committing suicide.
Yeah.
That was really all this led up to that one unnamed beaver who sacrificed his life.
This is more of you being like, I need to tell someone this story.
Yes, please.
Yeah, and it's going to be everybody.
I thought maybe we needed a palate cleanser after all of the really dark shit.
So next week's going to be miserable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly.
Yeah. There's going to be names. There's going to be victims. It's probably going to be unsolved because you hate me. It's going to be like our birthday week, and you're going to be like, here's an unsolved murder.
Yep. Enjoy.
Thanks.
So, sources. National Geographic. There's an article named Why Beavers Were Parachuted into the Idaho Wilderness 73 years ago. And then I found the PDF from archive.org.
Oh, nice.
Of his transplanting beavers by airplane and parachute by Elmer.
Yeah.
Or Elmo, or whatever the fuck his name was.
Elmo.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Get it? Don't besmirch
You know,
the name.
honestly, I wrote Elmer for the very last bit of it. 10 out of fucking 10. I bet you his name is fucking Elmer. And now I have to...
No.
Double check.
No, we've
double
committed.
Check.
All right. Keep reading your sources.
There's probably one person that knows the story and is like shouting at the radio, Elmer, you stupid asshole. Okay. And then I also used the Smithsonian article, Beavers Once Parachuted into Idaho's Backcountry, and then a Boise State Public Radio.org article, Parachuting Beavers into Idaho's Wilderness. Yes, it really happened. And then a Time article about it, and then Wikipedia entries about beavers and the environmental impacts of beavers.
Nice.
I had a lot of long sources.
I was going to say, you had 8 sources for a 20-some minute podcast.
Look, I was not about to read through his entire PDF because it was...
So you went to 17 sources instead?
Yeah, but a lot of them said like the same things and had like 1 or 2 extra facts, and so I just
cherry picked here and there.
Yep.
Well, that was fun. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Lighthearted.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'm going to fuck you up next week.
Good. It's our birthday week, so...
Gotta go big or go home.
Yep. And both of ours are in the same week and everything. Yours is, what, Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
Mine's...
Thursday.
Yeah. I was counting the days after. Monday, Anyway.
Look at you go.
All right.
You went to college and everything.
Didn't we?
Yep. Oh, if you've made it this far.
Congrats.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. And we'll be back in a week. Mm-hmm. And you'll be older.
Yeah, I will.
I won't be.
Not yet.
Anyway.
We have a new Discord channel. Flood it with your pets.
If you're on
looking
Discord.
Fabulous, looking... Oh, yeah, that's for patrons only.
Yeah,
huh?
so if you go to patrons, we're not... Well, we are shamelessly plugging, but if you go to Patreon and you become a patron, one of the benefits at 2 of the tiers is access to our Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, it's like...
Private Messenger. It's like AOL circa 1995. You're going to love it.
No, it's optional group chat is what it essentially is. So
Yeah.
you can... And we obviously don't have a ton of members, so like if you put anything in there, if you actually want to like communicate with us, that's like...
A good way to do it.
Super easy way to do it. Yeah. And then, yeah.
We want to try to be more active on that instead of just sitting on our butts.
Well, it's more personal too. So.
Yeah.
Anywho, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
But yeah, we did make one for pets. I think I cut you off before you said that.
Yeah, you did, you big shithead.
Yeah. Well, not everyone knows what Discord is.
Okay. It's called Domesticated Cryptids.
Yes.
Okay.
4-legged and such.
Yep.
4-legged and feathered.
Yep.
All right.
Or scaled. Whatever.
Well, yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. You got anything else?
Nope. I think I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done. Okay. Bye.
Goodbye.
Oof, that was terrible. Thanks for listening to our terrible podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, or wherever you like to listen. Feel free to follow us on Twitter at TMSTPod.
And if you'd like to support the show, you can find us on Patreon at Tell Me Something Terrible.